What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bus. We're back again doing another back-to-back set of episodes para lang sa inyo, para sa upcoming season 86. Say hello, Gab and Maui.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
go.
Okay, so back-to-back episodes again, or recording, sorry, but we will be spreading out the episodes leading up to UAAP season 86. Today, we're gonna do something more traditional. Last time we did our very first ever power rankings, Giddy Up's power rankings, by the way. Let's go! But
Shout
for
out to
today, we're
Giddy
gonna
Out,
do
to Giddy Up, our first
shout
ever
out to
sponsor.
Giddy Ups. Okay, but today we're
Magpadala
gonna do
naman siya ng
something more
almighty,
traditional.
Maui.
Oo nga, para pa-iced tea ka naman. We're gonna do something more traditional. We're going to do our preseason award predictions. So we've done this in the past. Nothing new. So let's start. Siguro, let's just go on ahead and start with MVP. Sino ang prediction nyo for MVP? And I would be surprised kung hindi pare-pareho yung pick natin for this one. Let's start with you,
Ah,
Gab.
I've been saying it since end of season 85. The favorite for MVP, and I think by a wide margin, is going to be Malik Juf of UP. I think they're going to be one of the top two teams. He's a rack up stats like no one in the UAAP. You're going to get tons of rebounds, blocks. He's not going to score a lot of points, but rebounds, blocks, assists. Not assists. Steals, field goal percentage. He's gonna stack up those, and he's far and away for me the favorite for MVP. What about the two of you? I'd be shocked if it wasn't Malik.
Maui.
Ako favorite ko sa MVP, hindi si Malik Diouf. Malik Diouf is by far the most valuable player on paper. Definitely. I have to agree on that, Gab. But when it comes to MVP rankings, you have to rack up stats. And I think UP will run away with some of these games. Similar to how Ange Kwame lost the MVP award during one of the seasons. I think UP will run over teams to the point that Diouf doesn't have to have his usual double-double with a
Mm-hmm.
block and steal or two. I think the MVP front runner for me this offseason is Kai Balungay. If you've watched the
Wow.
offseason, if you've watched the offseason, Kai Balungay has been by far the most consistent of all the players. Not just in Ateneo, I think. Balungay has consistently racked up a ton of points, a ton of rebounds, and he's capable of getting some assists, a couple of steals and blocks, and I think this solidifies him as one of the front runners for potential MVP this coming season.
Yeah, those are good picks, Maui and Gab. I had Malik Diouf as my MVP, but definitely I agree Kai Balungay would be my number two. I actually, para sa akin, uh, Malik Diouf was becoming MVP or becoming an MVP contender is inevitable. But I did list down like reasons kung bakit hindi magiging MVP si Malik. And you said one, Maui. If UP is just so damn good and then they decide to rest their stars and maybe play their younger guys. They do have a bunch of young big guys out there that maybe needs more playing time. So definitely that could be a reason why Malik wouldn't rack up stats. Um if Malik gets injured, obviously. And number three, most important, if the UAP listens to Gab's recommendation to change the way they rate MVP players or they award MVPs, kung makinig sila sa recommendation ni Gab in our previous episode, yun lang yung reason why hindi mag-MVP si Malik. But joking aside, I think Malik is a solid contender. Kai is also a good pick.
My only counter to what Maui said, yes, UP is very talented, stack. But they were talented and stack at just 84, 85. And they always play close games. That's my thing now with you. I think it's just
Yeah.
85. All of my picks or of our games of the season were all UP games
UP
because
games.
they always play to the wire. They always play clutch. For some reason, they have this habit of chilling in the first half or not playing up to their potential in the first half, especially against very capable teams. And they end up go being down big and then having to rally in the third and fourth quarters. That happens more often than not. It's I know we expect UP to kind of run over some of the teams because they're by and far the most talented team, but that hasn't gone into fruition the past 2 seasons. They've always been very talented, especially in 84 and 85, but yet they haven't really ran over much of the competition. They've always played very exciting games. Yun lang yung counter ko. Although I could see it na they put it all together and then they just play blowouts the entire season for majority of the season. Yeah, I could see that scenario, but given the history, I would like to think that they would play close games as well. And teams step up then against UP. I think that's also one of the factors we have to bring into here. When they face UP, they know that UP is a juggernaut, so teams will step up. But yeah, that's for me. I had Kai as my runner-up, so I wouldn't be angry with picking Kai. But for me, it's still Malik.
Agree.
He's just a beast, man. Malik, and without Ange Kwame in the UAAP,
Yeah.
By
he's just
far.
unstoppable.
Di lang natin alam, no? We haven't seen all the FSAs,
Just ask
apparently.
Omar Jan, di ba, Gab? About Malik Leo.
Anyway, let's move on. I think unanimous Malik and or Kai would be our top MVP picks. Let's move on to another popular award. This time, let's talk about Rookie of the Year. Sino ang pick nyo for Rookie of the Year? I'm interested to know your thoughts first, Maui.
Yeah, I think potentially yung Rookie of the Year, this is another homer pick. You guys will roast me for this, but I'm going back to back Blue Eagles. I'm going Mason Amos. Just because that I
Grabe ka,
think
Mau. Nilagay mo sa power rankings third ang Ateneo, pero yung pick mo sa awards, puro Atenista.
preseason,
Come on.
preseason. It's preseason power rankings. That's not a representation of where I think Ateneo will end up when the season ends. But I think it has to be Mason Amos or probably LeBron Lopez, just because of the ton of minutes. Probably SJ Moore if he gets a lot of minutes. I'm looking at players who
Yeah,
are
that's a good pick.
likely guaranteed to get minutes and usage. If you watch Ateneo sa preseason, you see that they struggle finding that second or third consistent guy to score outside of Balungay. And I think Mason Amos, despite not playing that many minutes alongside Balungay, will get enough usage to become a favorite, one of the favorites to win Rookie of the Year this coming season. There will be certain matchups that they will not be playable together, but there will also be certain matchups that Ateneo will be able to use the advantage of Balungay and Amos on the offensive end. So I think it will all really boil down to if Amos gets enough minutes, if LeBron Lopez gets enough minutes. Probably Reynard Humamoy is a dark horse also. But I'm picking my boy. I've been hyping this boy up for more than a year. I'm gonna pick Mason Amos.
Gab, agree ka ba dun?
No. Straight up, no. I don't. As much as I love Mason Amos' game, I don't think he's gonna get a lot of shots and a lot of that much playing time to rack up the stats compared to the competition. But I think he's good. I think Mason Amos is a good player. I just don't think he's gonna get that many touches. I mean, in the preseason, he's not actually yung happy nga ako eh. He's not that guy na tries to find his own
Demands.
shot.
Yeah.
He na demands the ball. No, he plays within the offense. He takes
Within the
shots
system.
when he's open. Yeah, he plays within the system. So ako happy out. Actually, I'd be happy if Mason Amos continues to play like that. So that's the reason why he's not even my runner up. Actually, si Mason Amos for Rookie of the Year. My favorite is your runner up, Maui. I think Francis Lopez is gonna win the Rookie of the Year. With you went with two Ateneo Blue Eagles. I'm gonna go with the other side of Katipunan. I'm gonna go with both UP Fighting Maroons as my favorites for this award. Despite everyone, most of our followers saying that I don't like UP. Hey, I, I do appreciate UP. But yeah, Francis Lopez he's gonna be very entertaining. I mean, he's by far the most athletic player in the UAP. I think that is clear. He's the most athletic player in the UAP. He's gonna fly through the court and he's gonna get minutes. I think he's gonna start from day one. Compared to the other rookies, I think he has a clear role beside Malik Juf at power forward, and he can shoot threes. He can drive to the basket. On the other end, he can be a very good help side defender, just getting those help side blocks. Just because he jumps high, he's fast. Uh, I love what I've seen from Francis Lopez so far in the preseason. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's gonna be a star from day one, in my opinion. Sammy.
Okay, I love both of your picks. Uh, para maiba, I'm gonna swerve a bit. Hindi naman siya big swerve, but Maui mentioned my pick. I'm gonna pick Reinhard Jumamoy. I am picking him also because what I did was dito sa awards natin, I made sure I wouldn't repeat teams. So Gab, you pick two UP players, Maui, you pick two Ateneo players. I'm gonna pick players from different teams para hindi naman magalit yung mga fans natin from the other teams sa comment section. I'm gonna pick Reinhard Jumamoy. I think Maui, you mentioned he could be a dark horse pick. We've seen flashes of him sa preseason hit like a game-winning shot. Game-winning ba? Game-tying shot?
Game
I think
tying shot
game-tying
against
shot.
UP.
So, yes, against UP. So this guy's a tough guy. He's got balls. Not afraid of the moment. I think NU can really use a guy like him to switch up the offense then. I guess to agree with Gab's point, Mason Amos plays within the system. I think Maui, I also agree with your point on Malik Diouf. I think if UP beats all the other teams or wins their games by big margins, maybe LeBron doesn't get to play that much. So maybe that also hurts his rookie of the year chance. But really, like the three guys, I wouldn't argue with any of that as rookie of the year. So that's my pick, uh, Reinhard Humamoy. Go, Gab.
Can I pick a runner up?
Go. Yeah, sige. Sino pa? Sino pa naisip mo?
I was going to go with Reinhard Humamoy, but yun nga, he falls into the problem na maybe he has a hurdle to get to minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing
Yeah,
behind
daming
two other.
guards dun. Yeah.
Ang daming guards, yeah, exactly. He's playing behind Baklaan, Steve Nash Enriquez, there's Don Lim.
Don Lim.
Yeah. So proven guard. So I think he has more. He's not gonna rack up that much stats and maybe not play that much minutes because he's playing behind those two or three guys. I'm gonna go with someone, and now we mentioned him a while ago in passing. SJ Moore. Again, no, from UST last season, they don't have no one. Oh, don't have any talent surrounding Nick Caballero. So put me down as SJ Moore having a big role from day one. I think that if you see him getting maybe 12 to 15 points a game with around 2 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, I think he could easily upset Francis Lopez for Rookie of the Year. Again, similar when we're assessing rookies in fantasy, Maui, diba? Who's the rookie who's gonna get minutes, who's gonna get usage? So he's the guy who you were gonna pick, diba? Yung gana naman tayo. So for my two picks in Rookie of the Year, one is Francis Lopez. Again, clear role. He's gonna get a lot of minutes. SJ Moore for UST, I think, is gonna get a ton of minutes as well. So put me down for those two battling it out for Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Good picks. Let's move on to our third award. Most improved player. Let's go with you, Gab. Sino ang most improved player mo?
Most improved player. Well, he was Maui's pick for MVP, but yeah, I think Kai Balungay is going to be a superstar now in the UAAP. So he's my pick for most improved player. Last season, we saw glimpses. He had the athleticism, he had the length, he had the shooting to be a star in the UAAP. But again, he was playing as a role player beside guys like Ange and David Defonso and Forsky Patrigao who handled the offense more, those three players. But as we've seen in the preseason, Coach Tab is now running the offense maybe too much through Kai Balungay, solely through Kai Balungay, and he's just been a monster in the preseason. I think he's gonna rack up a lot of rebounds, gonna score a lot of points, gonna get some block shots, gonna get some assists as well. He's gonna be the superstar now of Ateneo. I think that's gonna be very apparent from day one. So yeah, Kai Balungay, put me down for most improved player.
Maui.
Yeah, I think me putting
Three
Kai
straight
Balungay.
Ateneo players ba ang pipiliin mo, Maui?
Yeah, I think it's crazy for me to put him as the MVP contender and not him as the most improved player. With him being what fourth or fifth most important player from Ateneo's team last year, he becomes the King Eagle number one. But if I were to pick other players, I would say probably si Kevin Kiambao can also be one in terms of stats. Uh, Him having a bigger bag, a 3-point shot can will probably rack more points. But yeah, another player that really comes into my mind is probably Cholo Ananuevo from FEU. He's probably a contender also for most improved. During previous seasons, he was sometimes he looked lost, but during the preseason, he's really rounded up his game, and he's now an all-around forward who can shoot the three, rebound the ball, bring down the ball, and there are games that he also play makes. So I think with FEU really looking for a guy to have to get more usage outside of LJ Gonzalez. Cholo Nuevo would probably be one of the contenders for most improved. And I'm happy to see this because as you remember, Cholo Nuevo was supposed to go to NCAA Division 1. So hopefully he fulfills his potential. He has a very good measurements in terms of like being a potential player for Gilas in the future. So I'm excited to see if he does bring his improvement from the off season into the season.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, you mentioned my pick. I'm going with KQ as most improved. Now, he was really good last year, but I think this year you've mentioned the improved shot. Maui, I think ikaw yung nag-share din nung recent video of KQ looks ripped. Dude looks ripped as hell. And recently, I was watching yung interview ni Jello Vito kay KQ and Mike Phillips. And speaking of improvement, yung mindset daw ni KQ was um becoming better 1% each day. So ganun daw ang mindset niya. So it's really I think he's really focused on improving. Actually, I was picking between putting him in MIP and our next award which Gab will be explaining later. Decided to put him here. I think he will surprise people by out doing himself versus last season. So I
I
think
do
AP
have
is a
some
good
other
pick.
picks for this
Yeah, go ahead,
award.
Gab.
Perhaps some runners up. Are we just gonna ignore Remo Goat? I mean, he only produced in the last two
Tama,
games of season
tama. Oo
85,
nga
Actually,
naman, oo nga
diba?
naman. Oo nga
year-to-year
naman.
average
And
will probably blow everyone out of the water.
Gab, Gab,
yep.
I think yung isa mo
And
pang favorite player we haven't mentioned.
oh, uh, we'll go there in the next
Okay,
awards.
okay, okay, okay.
But I do my runners up again is Ray Remogat. Uh, he's the man. He's the guy. He is him for UE. He's gonna rack up so many numbers. So I think he's gonna go into the mythical five. I've said this before. My other runner up is actually going to be from Adamson. Uh, Adamson has huge holes to fill. Now that's one, not just one hole, huge holes to fill in terms of who's gonna produce, and put me down for someone like Joe M. Sabandal to actually step up, perhaps score more, have the ball more in his hands. A lot of playmaking yung goes through him, and his partner in the backcourt is Joshua Yero, a guard who can't shoot free throws, a shooter who can't shoot free throws well. I still don't get that. Sam, I think Sam, you were the one who pointed this out to me last season. He's known as a 3-point shooter, but he can't shoot free throws. So pretty weird. But yeah,
Alam,
he's
shooter
gonna
siya
get
eh.
but he's gonna get a lot of touches. Those two guys, they stepped up actually when Jerome was injured in season 85. So, put me down as them having big seasons. I mean, who else is gonna produce for Adamson? They don't have much anymore. So, those two.
Okay, so we're down to our last award. This is like a special award. So, Gab, paki-explain, what's our last award and what's it all about?
For our last award is gonna be the surprise player of season 86. Now let me explain. This very different from the most improved player. Surprise player is someone you have no expectations, no idea how of from based on previous seasons, but you think they're gonna, you know, contribute, not necessarily be a star, but contribute in ways that no one would have expected. My example is actually who you shouted out, Sam, PJ Palacelo. He surprised me in season 85. I do remember watching that NU versus UP game the second round, and Jeremy Mahina, as usual, was in foul trouble in the first quarter, getting 3 fouls, and they had to put in this
Three
guy
hard
out of
fouls.
3 hard fouls on Malik Juve and Carl Tamayo. So they had to put in this guy, PJ Palacelo, and he racked off 8 straight points out of nowhere. So that's a surprise to me. UPJ Palacelo. I'm not picking for the award because he surprised me last season. But surprise player for UAP season 86. Who do you got? Let's go with Sammy first. Ikaw naman una, Sam.
Okay, sorry. Just to add kay PJ Palacielo, I had him as my runner-up for most improved player for this coming season.
Would not fault you for that.
You've talked about him extensively, so that's I think we expect a lot from him basically. But okay, so I'm cheating here a bit. I'm gonna pick someone from the same team, but I just have to go with him. My surprise player for this coming season has to be Belmonte from UP. Um, who, to be honest, before watching him this preseason, I only knew about him kasi he was infamously punched in the face or hit in the face by um, John Amores. And then I think that's why
Who was
he
drafted?
was
Who was drafted in the
Si
who
PBA?
was
Lorenzo,
drafted by the way. But
mga ganyan.
but I think he was supposed to make the team previously pero dahil na injure yung face niya, he didn't make it. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know Gab and Maui, you guys were high on him way before pa when he was So you guys knew more about him, but ako admittedly wala akong alam. So what was really surprised at how he performed ngayong preseason. Looks really good. You like long, lanky guys na athletic. But he has shown his potential. There were games na he was like one of the leading scorers for UP. Obviously, like maybe Malik didn't play there, but Zave Lucero is gone. But you guys, UP found like Belmonte, Torculas, Lebron Lopez. I think they're in good hands. Sa totoo lang. So, I have Belmonte as my surprise player for this season.
Maui.
Yeah, I think no surprise with Belmonte. We've been talking up this whole off season. I think he is potentially one of the players to look out for. I think he will definitely carve out a role in this UP team because they have a lot of stars and they need role players who will do anything and whatever and hustle and play good defense, bring energy. I think Belmonte is that guy. But I think my most surprising, my player to watch out for, my surprise player for this season, I have to pick Patrick Sleet from FEU. I think he has had
Ooh.
a very good off season, finally showcasing yung talent niya. I think much like si Alex Stockton, yung player ng FEU before, he has shown glimpses uh, during previous seasons and the off season. I think he can carve a similar role to Alex Stockton before, be that secondary playmaker and aggressive guy. If you've seen some of the FU games, both him and Ananueva have really stepped up, and I'm excited to see them expand their game because both of these players are players that are potentially possible to represent our country. If you watch our previous episodes, we are haters of how SBP has handled Gilas, but we will forever be supporters of the national team. Both Sleet and Ananuevo I think, have the potential to become players for the national team. Sleet can play the point guard slot at 6'2". Ananuevo can play the 2 and 3 at 6'5", 6'6". So, yeah, hopefully Patrick Sleet develops his game more. I think it was really a blessing for him to end up in FEU. FEU is known for producing one of the best guards in Asia, in the Philippines. Sila Mark Baroka, R.R. Garcia, Terence Romeo, and their coach, Denok Miranda, all are from FEU. And I think Patrick Sleet getting the training from Denok Miranda and the Arcela brothers, it will show up finally this season. Hopefully he does, so that FEU can not start 0-5 like last season.
Okay.
Good pick, Maui. Gab, makasingit lang ako because you mentioned Cholo Año. He was actually my runner-up. Originally my pick, and then I remembered Belmonte. Why I would put Año as a surprise pick or surprise player for the season? I think I mentioned this before. Was really surprised at how he guarded a lot of the point guards of the other teams this preseason, and I think that could really bode well for his development as like a more agile wing guy, 2 or 3 as you mentioned, Maui. So I think sa preseason napansin ko talaga yon, and that if he can really guard faster guys and develop that, I think he has potential din talaga to represent the Philippines in the future. Gab.
I'm gonna go deep with this award. My prediction for this award. My surprise player is actually going to be from my alma mater. Put down for Kyle Gamber. The surprise.
Will he make the team? That's the question. Will he even make the team?
Yeah. From the pictures, I think he's part of the initial 18-man or 16-man roster. I think, from the pictures.
So also there. And
I know, but hey, wait.
Rafi Celis.
I cut him from the team. Hello, kaya nga, sir, this is the base of the award. We have no expectations of Kyle Gamber.
Oo, tama,
We think
tama,
he's gonna
tama,
be
tama.
cut. I think we
Yeah.
cut him in our luck maybe or not.
Hindi ko na
So,
maalala. Did we
uh,
cut him talaga?
yeah,
Ito
I
ba?
think we
Hindi ko
did.
na maalala.
Didn't we?
Him or
Oh,
Garcia, I
okay.
think. We cut him or
We
Okay,
Garcia.
put
okay,
Kyle
okay.
Ong
Anyway,
in the team. So yeah, put me
we have to
down as
review.
Kyle Gamber
Watch that
surprising.
episode,
Again,
guys.
Coach
Sorry,
Tab
go.
throws curveballs at us. Remember, he was starting playing Paul Garcia heavy minutes last season, in the preseason last year. Then suddenly he's buried on the bench. I think Coach Tab loves the versatility of Kyle Gamber. I think he loves the offensive tools that Kyle Gamber has. Defensively, still has a lot of work on, but I think Coach Tab can work on him. Uh, Ateneo fans are hopeful for Kyle Gamber, but they're not high on Kyle Gamber this season. I think a lot of people expect na it will be the rotation of Espinosa, Brown, and Gomez to handle the point guard slot, and Kiteves and Kuhn and
LeBron Nieto.
whoever, and you and LeBron Nieto to handle the off guard slots. But again, Kyle Gamber is what, 6'4", with shooting, with the handle. Uh, I think he can surprise. I think he can surprise. It's far fetched. It's a far fetched thing, but I think he can surprise
Kung
this season.
si Gab
My
Gomez
runner
nga
up is
naman, nagulat. Gab. Mali
di
mo,
ba?
Kyle Gamber din from the
Oh,
season.
mali mo. Again, I'm going deep. My other
That's deep.
surprise player, and I think you guys are gonna like this, is Joaquin Manuel.
Let's go! Joaquin
Again,
Manuel.
I'm a self-proclaimed Joaquin Manuel hater. But from what we've seen, and the most recent game was in the Kadayawan tournament, he can actually do some positive things on the court. Maybe Coach Topex can finally get through to him. Diba?
Wow.
Stop launching those
Gab
stupid
saying good
threes.
things about Joaquin Manuel.
Stop committing dumbass fouls. Stop complaining. Stop showboating when you've scored 2 points in 20 minutes. But maybe, again, this is the point of the award. Someone you have no expectations of, but someone who can surprise you. So those are my two picks. Kyle Gamber, just watch him. Joaquin Manuel, maybe he finally yung contributes in a positive way for Lasal.
Whoa.
That's it.
May pahabol pa si Gab doon. But those are good picks, Gab. Well, number one, from rival teams, and number two, you picked one rookie who hasn't even played a single game yet, and you're picking a vet. I think it's his last year, tama, no? Si Joaquin Manuel,
Yep.
ka-age niya So, yeah, picking a vet. Team captain pa rin ba? Maybe. I'm not
I
sure,
think he's been
but...
supplanted by Evan Nelly.
Okay, Evan Elena, right. So, those are your surprise picks. I did not expect that from you, Gab. So, good picks. Dahil pati kami ni Maui, I think, na-surprise dun.
That was the point of the award.
That's it for this episode. Guys, if we missed out on anybody, comment them down below. I know we probably missed some of the teams, some of your favorite players on other teams, but that's why you guys are here. Let us know. Who are we missing out on that we should be looking out for, especially for the surprise picks. I'm really curious. Anybody who's still watching at this moment, let us know your surprise pick and tell us why. We're excited to see you. We'll do one more episode before the start of the season, and then the following episode we'll do a recap of the opening of the weekend of the UAAP. We're really excited. Let's go. September 30, Saturday. Come on. Giddy up. Let's do this. See you. Bye-bye.
Peace
See
out.
you.